Dead.
Dead. Another guy pushing him to the right. Both dead. Oh my god, dude, I just got like 8 kills right there with this pipe. Holy Alright, what's going on, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome back to the channel. My name is LegendOfAK, and thank you guys so much for taking the time out of your day to watch my video. Now, in today's video, we're going to be going over my controller settings as well as my audio settings. But before we get into that, a lot of you guys have been asking what headphones I've been using and what kind of controller that I use. Suspected of using a keyboard and mouse, but that is not something that I use. I actually use Control Freaks, and I do use a Scuff controller. As you guys can tell, I do not keyboard and mouse. I do not use, you know, a strike pack mod or anything else like that to cheat. I do not agree with those things, okay? I do not agree with modding in Blackout or any game for that matter because it is considered cheating. Now, I do use a Control Freak on my right stick. I'm able to actually be a whole lot more efficient and accurate and get those people on four-wheelers as well as keep on target with people that are just running around. So I do use a Control Freak only on my right side, not on my left analog stick. Obviously, you can see that I only have, it's kind of hard to record this video, but as you can see, I only have 2 pedals. One's for reload and one's for jump, okay? And the way that I use them is this right here is for jump and this one is for reload. Now, I do play tactical flips, so my L1 and R1 is flipped, as well as my L2 and my R2 is flipped. So I shoot with these top 2 pieces right here, which is what I shoot with and throw grenades and stuns like that with the other ones. Now, nothing fancy. If you guys want to get a Control Freak, you guys can pick up these Control Freaks at GameStop for about 15 to 10 bucks. Or if you guys want to order, you can use my code LEGEND. Link will be down in the description. But yes, this is basically my control setup, just clarifying that I do not use strike mod packs and I do not keyboard and mouse for Blackout. So all you speculators out there, I use a Scuff. Yes, I paid $200 for the Scuff, and it's about 3 years old, and I've replaced the paddles probably about 3 times, and I've replaced the thumbsticks every probably 4 to 6 months because they do tend to wear and tear. As you can tell, I've got a lot of wear and tear on my controller. So enough with the controller. Let's move on and let's talk about this headset and this mix amp, okay? This mix amp right now, I can't really bring it any closer, so I'm going to bring my camera a little bit closer. But this mix amp right here is an old school Astro A40 mix amp. The reason why I have this one rather than the newer ones that come with these headsets is because this one allows me to plug this up to my 360 as well as my PS3 whenever I want to play those games, and I don't have to switch out the mix amp because of the optical cable and USB to micro USB to charge it. So basically my micro USB to USB normal is plugged up into my computer, not my console, okay? And then my optical cable is plugged up into my PS4 Pro, which is going to be there in the back. And then what I also do is I actually have my Discord set up. As you can tell, you can hear me talking right now, but I have my Discord set up and stuff like that. So back to the headset. So basically with my headset here, the game volume is obviously the game volume, right? And then the voice volume is going to be my computer volume. Now, whenever I play on Blackout, this thing is on max, okay? I play on max, and I have this one on the second setting. This is the best settings for me on this mix amp. And usually whenever I'm playing by myself and I don't have anybody, I will crank this thing up all the way to max, okay? And the reason why is because I'm able to hear footsteps really well. When I'm playing with somebody in my Discord, I kind of leave it, you know, about right there or whatever. And every once in a while when I get into a gunfight, I'll just shut up the Discord and then I'll focus on the game and get the kills, and then I'll come back and start talking. So that's how I'm able to listen to music as well as tune out those footsteps whenever I'm on stream and stuff like that. So as far as the headset goes, this is some Astro A40s. These are just some old ones that I've had for a very long time. The links to all this stuff will be down in the description if you guys want to pick this stuff up. I picked up the mix amp for about $30 off eBay. And I think I picked up these Astro headsets for about 80 bucks. And then I had to buy the chat cable for the Astros off of their website for like 10 bucks. So definitely cheaper than $249 here, but that's what I was able to do. So there's my controller, there's my headset, that's what I use. You guys speculated that I was using a strike pack mod or whatever, I don't know. And then a lot of you guys have been asking about my settings with my headset, so now we're going to get into the settings on your screen now. All right, now that we're over here on the actual game, we're going to go through my controller settings as well as the blackout and audio section of my settings. Now, we use a standard look inversion. If you guys use inverted, it doesn't matter. Whatever your play style is, if you use inverted, no harm to you. I just play standard. My look sensitivity for horizontal is at 7. I used to be at a 9 and 8, and I've found myself toning it back down to 7 because I'm able to hit more shots at 7 on players than I am at like 8 or 9. It's just way too fast for me personally, and I was over aiming, so this kind of reeled it in for me from my last video, and I've been a little bit more efficient. We used to have a really high KD ratio, and then it went down because I was missing shots, and then now we're working back to getting that KD improved, and a 7 is really good for me. The way that you tune your sensitivity is going to be dependent on what kind of controller you have, what kind of control freak, etc. And you just got to hone that in. Go play in custom games and go look for the best sensitivity. Play around with it, go left and right, and find the best sensitivity for you. 7 is just what I use, and that's what I like. ADS sensitivity is 1 times. Whenever you're ADSing, this is the sensitivity. I leave it alone. I like where it's at. The high zoom sensitivity I did turn down by 1, which is 0.75 times, because it's a little bit slower. I want to be able to hit my targets because I'm zoomed in. I don't want to be really fast with my scopes. So that's why the high zoom sensitivity is at 0.75. Target assist is on. Aim assist is on. Basic knowledge stuff. Controller vibrations off. I don't have analogs in my SCUF controller anyway, so they don't make the vibration, so I just turn it off anyway. Sprint cancels reload. I turn this off because I never want to be reloading, and then whenever I try to go sprint, it cancels it, and then I get into a gunfight, and then I didn't reload. I would rather reload and walk than sprint. That just makes more sense to me. Auto mantle is off because a lot of the times I auto mantle off of stuff and I didn't even mean to, and it gets me killed, so I turn that off. Auto sprint, never need it. Never needed it unless the games are just so slow. I jump into hot drop areas, so I never have to run very far to get into action. Stick layout is default, button layout is tactical, and the reason why I play tactical is because I want the crouch and prone to be my analog, and my melee is circle. I never really melee too much, and that's my last resort, and that's the last button I want to hit in any Call of Duty game, so that's why I put it all the way over there at circle. Now, L1 and R1 is flipped. I'm an old school guy, so if you guys have played Medal of Honor or any other shooter games on the PlayStation 2 or the PlayStation 1, you guys know that L1 and R1 used to be aim and shoot, but they've changed it over the years. This is basically how I'll play, and that's pretty much how I play with my SCUF, and you guys know because I showed you the video beforehand. The X button and the square button are my paddles on the back of my controller, so I'm able to reload and jump and never take my thumb off of my thumbstick unless I gotta go knife somebody. So moving on to audio, I know a lot of people want to talk about audio, but this is pretty much my audio settings and how I'm able to hear footsteps. Master volume needs to be at 10. That's everything, okay? 10. Audio system test, obviously we don't need to do that because we don't need to play it for you guys. I use the audio preset Super Crunch. I've heard high boost is pretty good, but I've always stuck with Super Crunch in every single Treyarch game that I've ever seen it in their games, and it's done really well for me. Subtitles off. I don't like subtitles. Voice volume is 10. Adjust volume of the voices for the in-game characters and announcers. Does not affect voiceover microphone. I leave this at 10 because this allows me to hear voices of the characters that are in game. So sometimes people will emote or they'll do certain things and their player model will just immediately talk, and they'll give call outs and stuff like that with their emote wheel, and you want to be able to hear that stuff. But if you want to turn it down a little bit, I would say turn it down to about 7 because that's also the announcer's volume. I wish they would separate those two, but they don't. So I leave mine around 7 to 10. I'm going to leave it at 10 right there. Music volume 3. I don't care about their music in their game. We're trying to listen for footsteps and stuff like that, so forget all their music. Team chat voice volume, I leave it 3. I don't want my teammates to be so loud I can't hear footsteps, and their footsteps are loud enough as it is. Sound effects, this is for footsteps, gunfire, water, anything. This is the setting that you need to have it at, okay? 10, max, okay? That's where you're going to hear footsteps the easiest. Cinematic volume, adjust the cinematic volume of the game. I'm not really sure. I've played around with this a little bit. I've seen to leave it at 7, and it just seems to be something that I can't really hear. I'm not really sure what that's for. Someone let me know down in the comment section below, but that's where I leave it at. Multiplayer dialogue on and controller sound off. Definitely don't want my controller making noise. Next, we're going to move into the Blackout section. Now, this is exclusive to Blackout only, not multiplayer, so these settings do not work for multiplayer at all anyway, but this is for Blackout. The mini-map, I always keep mine at round because I like my arrow to be looking north at all times. In item pickup, I always put on press so I can press to pick stuff up instead of holding. It's just way more quicker when you're looting. Priority item pickup. This is something brand new. This is an ability to either pick up an item, you know, from distance or by ammo. So it will either focus on picking up ammo or it will be picking up just anything in the distance. I always put mine on distance. I don't want to prioritize picking up ammo and forget to pick up the damn weapon, so I leave mine on distance. Quick equip item cycling. This is basically if you want to use the old quick equip system where you push up and then you're able to select with your diagonal buttons on your D-pad left or right to use your equipment or your heals, and then the cycle is the one that you can use that's brand new that they rolled out on accident, but they fixed it finally. But this is the new one. I use instead of cycle, to be honest. I see it's so much easier to heal and repair armor at the same time if you're pretty good at doing it. Ladder mounting orientation I leave as forward, and reload behavior I leave on release, not on press. I don't know why. It just works out a whole lot better whenever I leave it on release. Now, thank you guys so much for watching the video. These are my Blackout settings, my new up-to-date settings as of patch 1.14. Thank you guys so much for watching the video. If these settings helped you at all, make sure to drop a like on the video, subscribe if you guys are brand new, and I will see you guys in the next video. Peace out.